My sister slept with my partner before our wedding, and my mom knew about it but didn't say anything. Now she appeared pregnant and upset about online criticism after I revealed their actions on the internet. I am a 30-year-old woman. I have a sister who is only 1 year older than me. We have always had a strong bond, so discovering this hurt. It felt like she had hurt me deeply. Besides that, I have been with my partner since high school, and we have always supported each other no matter what. We were going to get married soon. I don't understand why they did this to me. What made things even worse was that our mom was aware of the situation. Out of fear of getting involved, my sister pleaded with her not to say anything to me. Thankfully, my dad wasn't having it, and he spilled the beans to me. I have never been this mad before. I not only asked my fiancé to leave and got rid of his belongings, some of which I threw away, but I also chose to harm my sister in a different manner. Why not do the same for my partner? She's my sister. We always got along well until she chose to spoil our relationship a few months before my wedding day, when I had asked her to be one of my bridesmaids. You should not treat anyone like that, especially your sister. Your blood. My sister loves gardening, so when she lost her dog, she created a garden in his memory. I knocked on her door, she didn't know that I knew, and of course I played nice. I moved on to what she did with my fiancé and I slightly damaged her garden. I honestly just crushed a couple flowers. Do I feel regret? No. Her excuse sent me over the edge. It just happened is not an excuse. Sleeping with my partner just happened naturally, I suppose. I told her I didn't want her to talk to me anymore. And I also didn't want our mom to talk to me. My partner hasn't spoken since I warned him that I would call the police if he approached me again. I made my sister cry and scream at me, but I actually feel like I should be the one crying. She understood how much it meant to me to get married, and now I won't be able to have that experience. Add to that the fact that I had to hear this from my dad, not from my lazy excuse for a sister or fiancé. Even my own mother didn't speak to me. It's as if my sister is in charge of her. I don't like you, Tia. Logan, I don't like you. If they ever come across this, I would be very happy. Edit 1. Since many people keep mentioning this, I'm sad that I lost the relationship I've always given my all to. I was excited to get married, of course, but then this news came out. It caused me a lot of pain. At first, I didn't want to accept it. I almost thought my dad was joking with me. Later on, it was proven to be correct. I swear I have trust issues now. Edit 2. Thank you once more for all the recommendations. It's making me feel more confident about confronting them. I'm really nervous right now because I know things are going to get messy again. When I do that, I will do my best to provide an update. I mean, it's the least you all deserve, haha. In my last change, when I mentioned that I chose to hurt her, it's because I messed up something that was very important to her. I think that for most people, except for those on this platform, that would be too much. That's how I feel. I know this is not what you wanted, haha. She clearly put some effort into it because she thought I was very crazy for doing that. As I mentioned before, I don't regret causing her pain like that. I'm sorry for being in a bad mood, but I will definitely confront them today. Comments where AP has replied. Comment her, expose them to everyone and ruin them. I was thinking about unblocking my sister after our argument, just to let her see what other people think about her. I still can't believe she treated me this way. Share your thoughts about her, reveal them. They will try and spin it differently and make you look like the bad guy. Inform all your relatives, including your extended family and common friends. Inform them that you have stopped communicating with them and do not want to see them anymore. So far, only his sister has contacted me about this. She was in hysterics, asking me do have happened. She fully supports me in this. I don't know about the rest of the family, but for now, the only person I can trust is my dad. Likely her as well. Give your opinion on this, it's really bad. When did this happen? I can't believe your mother. Oh, I just discovered this past weekend. Under another comment I wrote how my dad explained it to me. It seems that my sister chose to inform our mom. She clearly told her to keep quiet about it. My mom apparently told my dad over the weekend, not right away, and then he told me. I don't know when they even had sex. I and my parents were not informed about that. My sister could have hidden this secret for a long time before she finally told our mother. For all we know, they could have done it months ago. Maybe even several times. My partner said he only slept with her once, but I'm having trouble trusting him. A part of me keeps trying to find reasons for my mom's behavior, but I just can't grasp it. She obviously didn't mind. Everyone found out about the cancelled wedding through social media. Object-oriented programming, haha. I posted an apology for canceling the wedding, but I turned off notifications because I was receiving too many messages asking for details. Until now, only his sister and my cousin are aware. I couldn't bring myself to speak to anyone else. I felt very unwell at that moment. These comments are giving me ideas though, and they're very tempting. August 28th. 2024 Update 1. Hello everyone, it looks like my previous post was removed. Thank you once more for your feedback and encouragement. I learned a lot. To begin, I did share about her and my ex on my social media story. I unlocked both of them to mention them. I want to thank one of the people who left a comment with suggestions on what to say. I kept it and wrote it down. But I also included some of my own words. My former partner blocked me when he saw my post. I shared my Reddit post with my sister later. At the time she didn't see, but I got a call from my ex's mom. She was very angry about everything, but she still asked me how I was doing and if I knew about the news. I felt really sad because I couldn't handle hearing more bad news. I asked her what she was saying. She asked, "You haven't done it." I refused and requested her to explain. My sister's pregnant. It seems that Logan told her to try to make her relax about my sister. I didn't want to listen anymore, so I told her I had to end the call. Luckily, she agreed because I started crying immediately after. After crying for 5 minutes, my sister replied to my story by sending me a link to a post on Reddit. She sent me messages in all capital letters, begging me to remove it. If I weren't so sad. I wanted to laugh a bit, but instead I just sat there and watched her send me many messages on my phone. I became even more upset when she told me, "I'm coming over to tell Mom that you're sharing my personal stuff online. Okay, you big baby." Still hasn't replied. I felt very cold. 30 minutes later, she's trying to break my door down, so I opened it in a fit of rage and I started screaming all kinds of shit at her. She kept yelling at me to remove it, but I told her it will stay up as long as I want it to. She kept telling me she didn't deserve online hate, and she even tried telling me that she's always been there for me through everything, and that she would have forgiven me if it was the other way around. That's when I hit her. I felt a bit guilty, as I'm not one to argue, which probably showed in my last post, haha. However, she responded by saying it's not my fault Logan broke up with you. That's when I told her that I wish she ends up like her dog and that she deserves all the hate she's receiving for ruining my relationship. I even said sorry for not destroying her whole garden and her silly face right away. I know it's not right to say this, but all along, she acted like the victim. She said I was bad and wished me harm. She kept telling me that I was punishing her for making a mistake. I told you that you don't understand what I've been through, and I believe you would have reacted the same way if you were in my shoes. She continued to cry and insult me because she has always been there for me, and I had the audacity to hit her and let strangers criticize her online. I told her she deserved it, and I don't want her to talk to me anymore. If she gets close to me, I will call the police. She kept saying I was being extremely unfair, and that she said she was sorry in her texts, but I wasn't having it. I told her to let Mom know that I'm not talking to her either. She asked me if I was really going to stop talking to her like that, and I just wished her good luck with her baby and told her to go home. That was the final time she left my front steps. I had to clean my favorite vase, but it's not important. At least they are no longer part of my life. However, it's weird how sad I feel now. It's for my own benefit, but I'll never feel that close to someone again. On the positive side, it looks like I have avoided 2 problems. Thank you all again, maybe I do need counseling. Last edit to say that my dad called not too long ago asking me to take every post down, because according to my mother, my bitch sister is bawling her eyes out over mean people on the internet. As if I'm writing anything down. My dad is angry about her being pregnant, but my mom keeps supporting her, saying we should be more understanding towards her. This is why I'm not talking to her. Thank you once more, everyone. I'm exhausted and I need to worry about other things. August 31st, 2024, Update 2. Today I have made the decision to have limited contact with my dad. Surprisingly, he wasn't very bothered by it. Nevertheless, he still supports removing the posts, which is why I made my choice. My mother doesn't want to have anything to do with me because she thinks there's no reason to try to connect with me if I don't respect the family. Wow, it's almost like that's exactly what I wished for. My cousin and my ex's sister have been helping me. It seems that my sister is having a hard time because more and more people are learning about the affair she had, both in person and online. She had an argument with my cousin on the internet. According to my cousin, my sister keeps asking her to tell me to remove the posts because she regrets what she did and felt forced to do it. The most recent information I got about my ex was from his sister. She said they talked. And even though he is not prepared to have a baby, he doesn't want to abandon my pregnant sister. He also wants me to stop what I'm doing, but oh well, they're made for each other. Lately I've been feeling a little better thanks to my cousin and my ex's sister, who I now like to call my new sister. I have slept well. Still thinking about going to therapy as well. A small part of me feels sorry for sharing information about my sister and ex, and I will always miss the bond I had with them, even after my last interaction with my sister. However, they have hurt me, and they deserve it. If they are not reacting positively, it is their issue. Thanks everyone once again. In the last incident, my brother insulted me at a family gathering, and my husband defended me by getting into a fight with him. Now, My parents are pressuring me to leave my husband, or they will stop supporting me financially. However, it seems that my brother was envious of my successful marriage. Hi everyone, last weekend my husband and I visited my parents for a barbecue. Everything was going well until my brother unexpectedly started arguing with me, insulting me and making me feel small. My husband spoke with my brother privately and the insult stopped. An hour later I was chatting with friends and family when my brother approached me and called me a bad name. He said, "You know you are a bad person, right?" He spoke loudly, so that almost everyone at the party could hear him. I saw my husband looking at me. Then he pushed me to the side and stood in front of me. The next thing I saw was my brother unconscious on the ground with blood on his face. I heard my mother yelling and my husband saying, "You don't talk to my wife like that. I warned you already before I go on. My husband did not harm me. He didn't force me or anything like that." I can't really explain it, but it felt like a nudge someone gives you when they're trying to get by. I took a small step back. That's it. I am not angry with my husband. I'm angry with my brother because all day long he was being mean, insulting, and making me feel small. I don't know where this came from, because he has never spoken to me or anyone I know in that way. The main issue I have is that I have to make a choice. My husband or my parents. My parents are very angry and have given me a final decision to make. I have to choose between divorcing my husband or being completely cut off. My husband doesn't care that they are angry. The only thing that upsets him is that he only managed to say one thing to express his anger. I love my husband and I don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lose my parents. They have helped me a lot and have always been by my side. I can tell they are serious because this is the first time they have given me an ultimatum. They also threaten my husband with an assault charge, but he doesn't care and welcome them to do it. I'm stuck between a decision that will change my life forever, and I'm panicking. I have received messages from friends and family members who have supported me and criticized my husband, but most of them are showing support. Do you have any advice to share? I am choosing my husband. I have never doubted that. But I also don't want to lose my family. Family is very important to me, and it means everything. I want to find a solution where I can keep both. Ops responses to comments. Why do your parents think it's okay for your brother to insult you? What is their excuse? Programación orientada a objetos. They haven't forgiven what he did, but they are criticizing my husband for using violence. Commenter 2, what type of family uses this? It seems like there are problems. Why did your brother react that way towards you? Are your parents giving you an ultimatum now? I appreciate that your husband stuck up for you, but that was a terrible political move. Programación orientada a objetos. One thing about my husband is that he is kind and caring, but he only values my opinion and that of his mother, and doesn't care about what others think of him. First, I want to thank everyone and also apologize for how I expressed myself in my post. It's no excuse, but my emotional state isn't the best. My husband is the one I chose, and I have no plans to ever leave him. I know it's early for an update, but I'm more confused now about what is going on. My parents invited me over to have a talk with them, but they wanted me to come alone as they didn't want my husband at their house. My husband didn't want me to go by myself. He said that if he couldn't go, then I couldn't either. He basically said that if you were there alone, they would gang up on you, and he wouldn't allow that to happen, so we went together. My parents were not happy to see him. My mother wanted to say something, but my husband told her that he is there for me, not for them. He said that if he is asked to leave, I will leave with him. I agreed with him. They agreed, although my brother was also present. He has a nose injury and some teeth are damaged. He avoided making eye contact with me and my husband. Instead, he kept staring at the ground while speaking. It seems that my brother broke up with his girlfriend a month ago. It's more like she broke up with him, don't know the reason, don't care. I didn't know about this because we are not very close. He said he got upset with me this weekend because he kept seeing posts about my happy life with my husband, and it made him feel jealous. All my posts on social media are about my husband. I mainly use it to post things. And he got upset when he saw my posts filling up his feed because I had something he didn't. It got worse when he heard me talking with my mom about kids. My husband and I are currently trying to have a baby, and that has made things more difficult for him. His life was going badly while mine was going well. I was pursuing a relationship with his ex, which is what he wanted. He said he didn't take my husband seriously when he pulled him aside and my husband warned him. I really don't understand why he targeted me because everything he said was completely false, and I did ask him why he made those statements. He didn't want to respond to me. I asked him why the whore comment because he knows my husband was my first in everything, and it has only been him all these years. He refused to answer. I asked him if wanting to have a baby with my husband makes me a bad person, because it includes sex. And he simply walked out of the room. I asked my parents why they didn't intervene and asked my brother to leave. My dad said he wanted to, But my mom told him to let my brother be because he wasn't really harming anyone. Just like with the ultimatum, they wanted to protect my brother. I asked about myself, but they didn't say anything. My dad only mentioned that the ultimatum was my mom's idea, and he agreed to it. This is where we are right now. Much more was said, but I don't think it's important. My husband said sorry to my parents for what happened, but he didn't want to apologize to my brother. When my mom asked him to say sorry to my brother, he simply refused. He refuses to say sorry for defending me, and my brother got what was coming to him. He was given a warning but chose not to pay attention. My mom said that doesn't make it okay for him to hit my brother. My husband asked my dad how he would react if someone insulted his wife. My father said I will have a talk with that person, but will never hit someone. My husband laughed and told my dad that he is a weak and cowardly man if he lets someone disrespect his wife in that way. That made my mom really angry. I could see her turning red. That's when I told my husband we should go. I informed my parents that I will be reducing communication with them, and the ultimatum they gave me made me lose trust in them. I understand they wanted to protect my brother, but in doing that they hurt me. This seemed to take all the anger out of my mother. They wanted to know if I would stop talking to them completely, and I said it's their decision. I don't want anything to do with my brother at the moment, as he can't even apologize for what he said to me. I told them if they can respect my wishes, we will see. When we were leaving, my husband went to my parents and greeted them politely. He also told my dad that it's time to be more assertive. I'm not sure what I saw, but I think my mom felt embarrassed because my dad glanced at her and she quickly looked away. This is our current situation. On the way home, my husband apologized for maybe making things worse, but said it was necessary to tell my dad the truth. He stated that he will accept any punishment and handle any consequences that may arise. I don't have to be concerned or anxious about anything. Brother's ex cheated on him and apparently he begged her to fix things, but she chose the other guy, and now he is just pissed and angry at every woman and believe we will all do that eventually. Got a message from my cousin. The family had a go at my parents for allowing my brother to talk to me the way he did, and they came clean as to why he did what he did, but couldn't do it when I was over and we talked. They couldn't tell me the truth and simply chose not to respond. More details about object-oriented programming, to be honest, when you really consider it. The only person I have felt genuine unconditional love and support from is my husband. There are a lot of things I just swept under the rug and thought it was siblings things, but looking back, whenever my brother had a difficult time at what taken out on me in some way, and my parents have never stuck up for me. My husband has always supported me and has never brought up past mistakes like my parent or brother have. The text talks about a girl's concerns about her parents' relationship and why they are not listening to her. Oops, my dad just does what my mom tells him to do. In all my 26 years, I have never seen my dad disagree with my mom about anything. He is okay with whatever she says or wants to do, regardless of the price. For example, my dad doesn't have many friends because my mom didn't approve of them, so he stopped seeing them. He hasn't made new friends because whenever he tries, my mom finds something she doesn't like about them, and he agrees. She should have talked to her parents and brother alone about her husband's behavior. In this case, I should focus on how he said it rather than his desire to be there, to make sure I am not being manipulated. I understood that he wants to make sure I am safe and prevent the same thing from happening again. I didn't express myself well because I'm not feeling great right now. I should have reviewed everything before posting, but he probably feels just as bad as I do. He is handling everything, and also making an effort to keep me in good spirits. I understand it seemed negative, but I considered what he said along with everything else he has done to protect me.